We are broadcasting live. Thank you for joining us on Prime News tonight. I am Eileen for presentation. The Vice President of the Social Democratic Front Political Party, Honorable Joshua Osei, on Sunday, February 19, 2023, in Betwa, chaired the regional elective conference of the party. The meeting was aimed especially at re-electing the new regional bureau of the SDF of the East region. Joy Ngong reports.
Militants of the Social Democratic Front political party held an extraordinary regional elective conference on Sunday, February 19, 2023 in Betwa under the chairmanship of the party's Vice President, Honorable Joshua Osei. On the agenda of the meeting was the re-election of the East Regional Bureau and strategize ahead of the upcoming municipal and legislative elections.
La bonne marche de toute chose dépend de la mentalité de tout un chacun. Il va falloir qu'on soit sérieux. Il va falloir qu'on se mette au travail, véritablement au travail. Et puis, comme je vous l'ai dit, le reste va s'en.
New posts were voted, and the SDF is more determined than ever to solidify its position in the political landscape of the East region.
Today, the regional elective conference were elected by what the conference did and the candidates they chose. We have asked these new candidates to be hardworking. It's a big challenge in the East, that the East is hungry, is thirsty for change. They have a golden opportunity, and we'll assist them to get there. We have told them not to stay behind their phones and notebooks, thinking that politics is done on Facebook. That's a tool to help us get somewhere, but they need to be out on the field. They need to touch base with all our wards out there. They need to go around the entire region and make sure that all our electoral districts are present and are working. They need to prepare our candidates for the upcoming elections, and they need to be ready.
Members of the party say this conference marks the beginning of a young and ambitious generation of the Social Democratic Front.
Now on to this human interest story. A Cameroonian woman based in France who came visiting to take part in her sister's funeral has been murdered in Yaoundé Central region of Cameroon, and her body abandoned on the road that's on the way to the Yaoundé-Simalène International Airport on Monday, February 20th, 2023, with her clothes and eyeglasses on. Get full details of that story in the next report.
Marie-Florence Kwadit, a 40-year-old Cameroonian woman, a nurse by profession, based in France, is the lady who was murdered and left in her own pool of blood beside the road along the Yaoundé-Simalène highway. Marie-Florence was reportedly kidnapped and later on murdered. Her vehicle and other belongings stolen by her abductors. The victim recently traveled to Cameroon from France to take part in her sister's funeral when the ordeal occurred. Worth mentioning is the fact that Madame Marie-Florence Kwadit was national president of the Frankist Foundation, wife and mother of 4 children. The victim's mortal remains were found in the morning of Monday, February 20, 2023, with marks of assault and knife stabs. Her blood spilled all over the ground, abandoned on the road to the Simalène International Airport, Yaoundé, Central Region of Cameroon. Her remains have been handed to the judiciary while investigations continue to track down her killers. Marie-Florence Kwadit leaves behind her husband, 4 kids, and other family members to mourn her. However, she is just one out of several diasporan Cameroonians who have been murdered or wiped out under similar circumstances as the level of insecurity rises in the country, with many targeting those from the diaspora. These shocking tales keep resurfacing every now and then. Nonetheless, calls have been made to all to be more cautious now than ever before to combat the phenomenon of diaspora killings or bushfaller assaults, as they are commonly called.
On to this other human interest story, an unexplainable fire outbreak has consumed portions of the Fraternity College of Kayseri in Marua, North region of Cameroon recently. With no human lives lost, sources say the material damage is enormous, with important structures like dormitories, the refectory and others reduced to ashes. Although the presence of firefighters did see the reduction of the ravaging flames upon arrival, these efforts could have been limited without the intervention of some state administrative authorities like the governor of the Far North region, Mijiawa Bakari, who has called on the vigilance of all. At press time, a balance sheet was being compiled to assess the actual cause and cost of the damage of the fire, considering that the college is said to be a fruit of the Cameroon-Turkey cooperation. On to something else, some officials of the University of Boya have given a positive remark and expressed hopes following the extension of the Leader World University in Kumba, Mehmet Division of the Southwest region of Cameroon. This was during a fact-finding mission on the structures of the university. Tamfo Sidwan reports from Kumba.
This is a result of the first phase of the implementation of the Presidential Plan for Reconstruction and Development of the Northwest and Southwest regions. The distribution exercise that took place recently at the Mamfe Grandstand has brought farmers from all the villages of the subdivision who have been given these farm tools. Speaking at the event, the mayor of the Mamfe Council, Robertson Tabenchong Ashu, has expressed joy towards the head of state while appreciating the gesture in encouraging the people of his municipality to be steadfast in the head of state's vision for them.
Actually, the items that you see this population behind me collecting today is actually items from the Construction and Development Presidential Plan for Reconstruction and Development in the two crisis affected regions. Mamfe in particular has not been left out. Here, the items that we have there, you have farm tools, you have sprayers, you have a lot of things. You also have piglets that farmers can start again. Those who lost their farms can start again somewhere. We also have fowls that are going to be distributed to them to start their poultry somehow. I understand that the first phase, is not really very much because most of the recipients were not considered in the first phase. I pray that in the second phase and the third phases, we should consider a much bigger population than that we have received today.
Any message to our brothers in the bush?
Yes, actually it's very clear that what the president has been saying, that they should lay down their arms. He is ready to reconstruct and develop our two regions. Today, many homes, many families, many households, they have the opportunity to benefit, items from the Presidential Plan for Reconstruction and Development. I call them to join us to reconstruct and develop our municipality. They can start somehow. They can start by, having a poultry. They can start by rearing piglets. And who knows? They can start by having a small farm somehow. The president is there to support all of us.
On their part, as beneficiaries, this is how much they've welcomed the gifts.
So I thank government. So may the member, we are the member, so we too will be happy with government. We thank government plenty.
So be very happy for what you can give it today. Be very, very happy. They give my husband cutlass, sprayer, they give me pick and wheelbarrow. I'll be very happy. Thank you, my friends.
I'm glad as government they try for see into our problem. they may do more, because this problem may they try with the solve. We don't see this thing that will be very happy, but may they solve this problem for this we are soon. And they thank the government plenty, but at the next time may they solve this problem.
Meanwhile, the mayor has also said more will come, as this is just the first phase, as he also called on those in the bushes to drop their arms and reintegrate into the various communities.
Apologies are in order for that little mix-up. That was rather Nolinga talking about some 135 IDPs or farmers from the Manfi subdivision who have benefited from materials, equipment, farm tools, piglets and chicks as a result of the first phase of the implementation process of President Paul Biya's plan of reconstructing the restive regions. Now, some officials of the University of Buea have given a positive remark and expressed hopes following the extension of the Leader World University in Kumba Meme division of the Southwest region of Cameroon. This was during a fact-finding mission on the structures of the university. Tamfu Sidwan reports from Kumba.
It was during an inspection visit at the Kumba campus of the Leader World University that some officials of the University of Buea, led by Deputy Vice Chancellor Professor Chief Non Alembong, expressed hopes and said the university comes at the right time to improve the standards of professional training in Kumba and Cameroon.
We are happy that this initiative is taking place because Kumba really needs a higher institution of learning, to match with the growing population.
The infrastructure inspection mission to Kumba was aimed at making a critical evaluation at the various structures put in place for effective lectures at the university.
We have been sent here by the Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education. So he's the one who has the final say. He will read our report and then he will tell us whether he has approved the school or not. And the report will be based on concerted effort of all the members of the team. We've gathered enough information, and our report will be based on what we've gathered and the prospects for eventual development of the institution.
They were received by the school authorities, and the university's programs were presented by the provost, Dr. Theophilos Mukete, who also led the University of Buea officials to the various classrooms, workshops, laboratories, and even a land the institution has acquired to use for its expansion. The provost expressed happiness and said the Leader World University is a modern university and the Kumba population will gain much from the team of experts composing the manpower of the institution.
Yeah, I'm very, very satisfied because they came in with a team of experts who have come to review the programs that we want to take off, the institution, the infrastructures and everything. And their inputs is what is going to make the institution to have the standard that it will deserve. We are going to have a very modern and first-class university for the first time in Kumba, because as the name itself speaks loud, it's a global university campus that we want to build.
The Leader World University offers medical and biomedical sciences, agriculture and food sciences, business and finance, management and computer engineering. For the start, the school will also engage in food transformation as a response to the needs of Cameroonians and even those abroad.
Now, the International Mother Tongue Day is celebrated every year on the 21st of February, and it is a day set aside to promote the importance of culture and linguistic diversity in the country and worldwide. In the following report, Catherine Ekongwe focuses on the history and significance of this day. Take a listen.
Celebrated worldwide, the International Mother Tongue Day is commemorated annually on the 21st of February, and it aims at promoting the importance of cultural and linguistic diversity in the country. The idea to celebrate this day was the initiative of Bangladesh, and it was approved in 1999 during the UNESCO General Conference. Since then, it has been observed throughout the world. UNESCO believes in the importance of cultural and linguistic diversity for sustainable societies. The day is celebrated in pride and honor while remembering the historical language movement and martyrs who sacrificed their lives in Bangladesh in 1952. The day equally acknowledges the languages and multilingualism, which are powerful tools for social inclusion and worldwide development to promote the Sustainable Development Goals of equity for all. On the UN resolution in 2002, the General Assembly member states are encouraged to take action to preserve and protect all languages spoken by people across the world, as it has been an essential function in creating change and growth in human civilization. This year's Mother Tongue Day is celebrated under the theme Multilingual Education, a necessity to transform education. The event, organized by UNESCO on 21st February, will explore and debate potential multilingualism to transform education from a lifelong learning perspective and in different contexts.
Relatively, some secondary school students today converge on Lycée Viakwa Nord Douala to mark the event of the International Mother Tongue Day, during which they showcase the need to uphold mother tongue for a transformed society. Derek Jato was a part of that ceremony and now files in the following report.
Sending a message in the language of where they come from. Their root. And their down steps were enough to identify them. In the presence of the custodian of their tradition, the traditional rulers, these students showcase their tradition. To them, for multilingual education to be that necessity, for a transformed education, as the theme of the 2023 International Day of the Mother Tongue hold. Promoting mother tongue should not only start and end at the level of species, but should be a way of life. Hosted by Government High School Aqua Nord, some secondary institutions came with their own slices of mother tongue to showcase through songs, poems, and sketches in which they identify the 10 regions of Cameroon and their various cultural heritage.
You're welcome back. Reverend Dr. Dora Lenyoy will in the days ahead launch a book titled 70 Years of Personal Development at Presbyterian Theological Seminary, Kumba. The book has been endorsed by Barrister Nico Hale at a preparatory meeting for the launch attended by our reporter Julian Dambi. Take a view.
In view of the upcoming launch of a book titled 70 Years of Personnel Development at the Presbyterian Theological Seminary, Kumba, a preparatory meeting was held recently at Tumfo Barrister Nico Hale's law firm, as the barrister says he has fully endorsed the launching of this historical piece.
I'm somebody who doesn't stand for falsehood. When I get a book like this, I look at the content. Then I check the background of the author. I see whether the information in the book is impacting on the society. talking about 70 years of personnel development at that institution, I found a lot of value in the book. In fact, when she presented the book to me, I took time off my very tight schedule to be sure that the information, the material that is contained in the book is genuine, authentic, original, and impacting. And that's why you see Nico Halley standing strong, standing unquestionably, unimpeachably, unconditionally behind the launch. And so I don't stand for things that are fake. And of course, you know, coming from a reverend pastor, I presume that she did the book in good faith, to God's glory and honor.
Written by Pastor Dora Lemieux, a product of the Presbyterian Theological Seminary, the book details history of the seminary from inception to present day, a place where the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon has for 70 years today trained its servants of God's church pastors.
As the product from that institution, and back there as a lecturer, I saw it wise to come out with something like this. The school is expected to celebrate its 70th anniversary. We had to do it last year. I'm sure the committee is still doing something towards that. So I came out with this, a book like this, and I was interested with the personnel, the teaching staff for 70 years. How impacted are we, because I'm one of them, to actually train pastors for Cameroon. So that was a motivation, the first motivation. I can say that from my findings, they are very qualified staff. However, they need more to develop the capacity to be able to teach well.
Also, the book comes to equally point out where the seminary is lagging behind, as well as make suggestions for its betterment, an aspect Barrister Nico Halley highly applauds the writer.
When you read the book, it's not only informative, it has suggestions, the way forward. No structure in the world is perfect. Now, when you are part of a structure and you identify the imperfections, shortcomings, and lapses, you come up with this book. You should also make suggestions, and this book has suggestions for a better PCC tomorrow. And I congratulate her, because some people will shy away because they don't want criticism, you know. But if you are not criticized, you cannot grow. Now she has published it. When she does the revised copy, in the future she will add a few things that people will be telling her. But I want to say this book is good. It's well loaded, it's well crafted, well analyzed, well researched, and it has all it takes for people to know about the PCC 70 years now. So you can be very sure that while you are making mention of about the challenges that the church has faced, definitely will be taken care of by some of the suggestions that she has made. Because the church does not belong to somebody, the church belongs to God, and all of us need to make our contributions towards its betterment. If you just sit there and you are criticizing, you are not fit to work in God's vineyard. You must suggest.
Officially launching on the 24th of February 2023 in Douala, the book, 70 Years of Personnel Development at the Presbyterian Theological Seminary Kumba, is said to be reference for the detailed evolution of the seminary.
It's talking about personnel development, the concepts of personnel development. What is it all about? Because that is what we have used to evaluate what PCC has been doing in the Theological Seminary for 70 years. And the second chapter is talking about the evolution. We are interested with the African staff, the indigenous of Cameroon, who are teaching in the seminary. from history, we know that the white, the fraternal workers started teaching there. And so we need to have our own people working there. So the next chapter is addressing the indigenous Cameroonians who are teaching in that seminary. The administration, the administrators, how equipped are they to handle an institution like that? You know, it's compared to higher education. And so the other chapter came out with the profile of pastors who are there teaching to ensure that they are capable of training PhD holders and awarding certificates.
Individuals have been called upon to ensure to get a copy of the book, for knowledge of the past is key to the future.
On to health, we talk of valvular heart disease, a growing cardiovascular disorder with severe complications like stroke and heart attack, prominent among people of the aging population worldwide. Bokengo Awori completes that story.
Aortic stenosis, mitral regurgitation, and tricuspid regurgitation are the most common valvular disorders in older adults, affecting an estimated 24 million people worldwide.
So a valvular heart disease is a condition that occurs when one or more of the valves in the heart cannot carry out its function properly. There are 4 valves in the heart whose main function is to ensure that blood flows in the right direction while going through the heart. So each valve has leaflets, and each of these leaflets will either open or close once in each heartbeat to ensure that blood is flowing in the proper direction. And when this cannot occur normally, when the leaflets cannot open or close normally, it will lead to a disruption in the flow of blood through the heart, and a valvular heart disease will result.
With many of its sufferers being unaware of their health condition due to mild or no symptom for some people, swellings, fever, shortness of breath, fainting are some signs to not ignore.
You can experience chest pain, can experience swelling of the abdomen, your abdomen begins to swell, you have swelling of the ankles, you have extreme fatigue. You don't do much, but you get tired easily. You can experience dizziness. You can lose consciousness in some cases. You can faint. You can faint. You can also experience difficulties in breathing, and in some cases it becomes worse when you lie down, especially on your back.
According to the health expert, some throat infections, sedentary lifestyle, and more can be linked to valvular heart disorders.
You can be born with a valvular heart defect. If you are born with a valvular heart defect, it means it is congenital. You came out of the womb with it. You can acquire it later on in life, maybe by catching an infection, most commonly if you have rheumatic heart disease, which results from a throat infection that is not properly treated, or if you have endocarditis, which is an infection of the inner lining of the heart, that will usually occur when you have a severe infection in your blood that is not properly treated.
He reiterates that
when you have a valvular heart defect, it makes conditions favorable for blood clots to form in your heart. If blood clots can form in your heart, it means you are at risk of developing a stroke. You are at risk of developing a heart attack and other heart diseases such as heart failure. And in worst case scenario, you can die if you have a valvular heart disease that is not treated.
Seeking to raise awareness regarding the cardiovascular health condition every February, it is important for all to lead healthy lifestyle, eat balanced diet, exercise regularly, get regular checkup at the hospital so as to help reduce prevalence and incidence worldwide.
Now on to sports. The indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon will have to defeat Portugal tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. in order to make a third appearance at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup scheduled for later this year in Australia and New Zealand. Magdala Eyang Bisang reports.
The indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon will tomorrow take on Portugal in the last decisive World Cup playoff fixtures after beating Thailand last Saturday to keep hopes of reaching the grand competition, courtesy of a brace from team captain Gabriel Abudi Ongene. Cameroon failed to pick up a ticket for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup scheduled for July and August this year during the African Women's Cup of Nations in Morocco. The Lionesses were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Nigeria and so will have to go through the playoffs to pick up one of the 3 available tickets left. Cameroon's opponents, Portugal, played a friendly against New Zealand last week and recorded a 5-0 win over the latter. Portugal will definitely be a hard nut to crack. However, Coach Gabriel Zabo will be counting once again on the experience of his team captain and other experienced Lionesses in the den, the likes of Ajara Njoya, who assisted Ongene to score the first goal against Thailand, Estelle Johnson at the back line. It should be noted that the Lionesses will have to do without Ange Bau at goal as she saw red in the last fixture, so either Lekki FF Mat Ong Mahan or goalkeeper Bia Kati of Eclair will guard the goalpost tomorrow. A win for Cameroon will secure a 3rd consecutive FIFA World Cup appearance in Australia and New Zealand later this year. Over in the Dutch Championship, an applaudable exhibition of class acts from referee Paul van Bokel in matchday 22 has been on the lips of everyone. 22-year-old Ghanaian midfielder Mohamed Kudus scored a stunning free kick in Ajax's 4-0 win over Sparta Rotterdam and dedicated it to his late compatriot Christian Atsu, who was a victim at the February 6th earthquake in Turkey. Mohamed's message was supported not only by his teammates in solidarity, not only by Ajax fans, but also the officiating referee who deliberately did not caution the player as the rule stipulates.
For me personally, we all know what's going on in Turkey and all part of the world, and yeah, Achu is the one close to me, but I dedicated that goal to him and everyone who had families and all the people involved in the Turkey earthquakes. We have football rules, but this is beyond football. We're talking about life and death, and so the ref just told me that of course it's not allowed, but he understands because this is a bigger situation than just playing football, which is a big respect for me to the referee as well for understanding the whole situation and what's going on around the world.
And that concludes this edition of Prime News over My Media Prime TV. I have been Nsah Eileen for presentation. Thanking you all very specially for viewing. The news was produced by Ewane and compiled by programs manager Lasha Kingsley. Have a blessed night, but don't go anywhere because Prime Hour will be yours in few minutes. Stay blessed until tomorrow.